No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy.
But I'm gonna go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turkey's hand.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back.
Canelo Alvarez reacted to Terence Crawford's recent knockouts with a lot of respect. He admitted that Crawford looked incredible against Errol Spence, even making the win look easier than expected. Still, Canelo pointed out that Spence is really the only big-name Crawford has beaten so far. Looking ahead, he teased that fans will get all the answers once they finally meet in the ring.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo hinted that he already understands Crawford's techniques and style. Speaking with confidence, he smiled and said that Turki Alalshik will be very upset on fight night since he'll be in Crawford's corner, which only makes the showdown more personal.
Now you're going to be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's going to be very difficult. He's going to be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
Canelo's choice to bring in Jaron Boots Ennis for sparring is being praised as a smart move. Johnny Ortiz explained that Ennis is the closest match to Crawford's body type and fighting style, making him an ideal training partner. This gives Canelo the chance to study Crawford's rhythm and movement in real time while sharpening his own defense and timing. At the same time, Ennis gains priceless experience training with a legend like Canelo. Ortiz called it a win-win situation where both fighters grow.
It makes sense, and it's definitely a good experience for both. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, shout out to them because now it shows that they serious with a real game plan, and Boots is, to me, everybody's a perfect opponent. I wouldn't say opponent, perfect sparring partner to have to replicate Crawford because they both switch hitters and stuff like that, and they got dog in them and reflexes for sure. So it shows Canelo serious, and on Boots end, to be able to spar a Hall of Famer, top tier guy, is gave him great experience, and you could tell he really wants it. It's a sport where Boots is getting an opportunity to spar a Hall of Famer. Who cares? In reality, what the fuck loyalty does Boots owe to Crawford when it comes to the sport of boxing? I mean, Crawford didn't do shit even back while Boots was trying to get his opportunity when it was Spence and Crawford. Every time Boots' name got mentioned, you heard the Bud Clowns be like, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. Oh, who did he fight? Oh, who this and that, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. It's like different shit that you need to be woke up outside of boxing. Boxing is a sport. There's shit that we need to really come together. I didn't see y'all come together like 5 years. The Bud Clowns, because it's real fans, the Bud Clowns is bashing PBC. Everything Boots, when you bring up Boots' name, putting him down, I didn't hear like, oh yeah, instead of fighting Canelo or fighting this person, he should fight Boots.
Jose Benavidez also praised the decision to spar with Boots Ennis. According to him, Ennis mirrors Crawford in several key ways: his size, his movement, and his style. This kind of sparring helps Canelo mentally prepare for what he'll face on fight night. Benavidez also noted that Crawford's smaller frame compared to Canelo could be a factor, and that working with a strong, similar partner boosts Canelo's confidence heading into the fight.
To give Canelo maybe a little bit more confidence that he is sparring somebody really good, and this is a really good fighter, and I think that would be a good motivation, for Canelo Alvarez. I just think that Crawford is too small for Canelo. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. But in my opinion, I think if Crawford could maybe just tap, get out, tap, hook, get out, maybe once in a while throw a straight punch and just win by points and use his legs, I think I see him winning by decision. But if he tries to exchange with Canelo Alvarez, I think he's going to make a mistake and he's going to get hit with one shot and maybe he can get hurt. And that would change the whole fight, But I think he's faster. Crawford is faster, and a straight punch, get out, Don't stay there to throw or try to trade with Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, fair to say. Fair to say. Now, do you feel like when it comes down to the demeanor of making that decision of bringing him in, does it show that he's taking this camp perhaps a little bit more serious than others? I mean, what do you think about just the move per se?
It's very difficult to say. He's never brought anybody really good to his camp until this time. Maybe he's lacking enough of confidence, or maybe he just wants to use them to trick the people. Or, it's very awkward and very funny that he brought Ennis to his camp, So, but at the end of the day, they know what they're doing, and we got to respect that. And I think
Boxing demand has entered a whole new era with streaming platforms breaking records. The Netflix showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson drew a jaw-dropping 65 million viewers, making it the biggest fight ever in terms of audience. Now, the Canelo versus Crawford clash has the potential to go even bigger. This isn't just another boxing match, it's a global event that could make history.
Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which was obviously on Netflix as well, the biggest concurrent view was, I think, 65 million. So at one stage of a time, 65 million people were watching that fight, which is crazy, hence why it broke Netflix servers. I do wonder what this does. I think it does around 10 to 15, which is still an incredible number. The problem with these two, and I was saying this morning actually to Gareth A. Davis, like, there's no antagonizer here, is there? No one is willing to play the role of the bad guy, the heel, the bully. And you almost need that a little bit. Like Jake Paul was actually quite smart in the way in which he promoted the Tyson fight. Obviously, look, it's Mike Tyson. But it was promoted so well where Jake was willing to be the guy that, I'm going to fuck up the greatest fighter of all time. He was willing to kind of say all those things and play that role. So people almost tuned in to see him get chinned as well. Neither of these guys are playing that role. Neither of these guys, I don't think, have crossed over massively to non-boxing fans. I mean, to us, they're like gods. But to non-boxing fans, I do wonder how much people know them.
Terence Crawford has never been one to back down from a challenge, and his approach to Canelo shows how carefully he thinks about strategy. He admitted that fighting bigger men is difficult, but said there are ways to handle it. His first strategy: push them backwards. Bigger fighters aren't comfortable retreating, since they're used to controlling the pace with size and power.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You can either try to push them back, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back, so it kind of fucks them up in the head,
Yeah.
Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's two ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo.
The second strategy Crawford shared is draining their stamina and taking advantage when they get flat-footed, a common weakness in heavier fighters. Crawford's tactical mindset shows his high boxing IQ. He knows this fight isn't just about toughness, it's about turning disadvantages into strengths. His camp has been built around conditioning and precision to prepare for the biggest test of his career.
Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back or the defense of someone like Mayweather to stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.
While much of the hype has focused on rivalry, Crawford has shown genuine admiration for Canelo. He respects Alvarez as one of the last true representatives of boxing's golden era. Canelo fought legends of the past, and Crawford recognizes how rare that is. For him, this fight is bigger than belts. It's about testing himself against someone who has carried the torch of greatness.
Well, listen, I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and, you know, the Kovalevs and Triple Gs, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
Sean Porter offered a different take. He believes Canelo won't show Crawford anything he hasn't already seen. Porter argued that Crawford has faced every style, speedsters, punchers, counterpunchers, and bigger opponents. That adaptability is what makes Crawford special, and Porter feels it's the reason Crawford can handle whatever Canelo brings, regardless of size and power.
Get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Terence is not going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. No, he hasn't seen this beast on fight night, but he's seen versions of this beast for a very, very, very long time. People have said that he's a blown-up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize, like, he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight and fit into a weight class properly. He's done that.
Antonio Tarver focused on the danger of Alvarez's power. He said Crawford might be more active and technically sharper, but Canelo only needs one clean shot to change the entire fight. Tarver warned that against a puncher like Canelo, even one mistake could end the night instantly.
And Canelo only needs one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only needs one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. He's gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. That's what's looming. I think if Crawford is going to guarantee victory, he got to stop him.
A man who ain't been stopped.
He got to stop him, bro.
It's challenge.
So that's going to be the challenge. So I like Bud. I've always loved Bud, bro. But he in for a hell of a fight. If Saul show up, boy, it's going to be problems. You heard me?
Andre Rozier praised Canelo's decision to spar with Boots Ennis, saying it proves how seriously he's preparing. In Rozier's view, bringing in a high-level fighter like Ennis shows respect for Crawford's skills. Canelo isn't overlooking this challenge. He's building a camp designed to push him. Rozier believes this attitude explains why Canelo has stayed at the top for so long. His willingness to adapt and test himself ensures fans see the best version of both fighters on fight night.
To get ready for Crawford.
I would think it would be because he's ambidextrous, as is Crawford, so it can do nothing but help him. And he has Yolendis Hernandez also helping, another fighter who is ambidextrous, so it helps. And we just want to see him do what he has to do, because this is a great fight.
Who were you initially taking? Is it Crawford, or who were you initially
No, I think I'm always under the direction of the bigger, better man. And Canelo's the bigger guy in this fight. And Crawford is my guy. It's just two weight classes and everything else. It's going to be tough. But if anybody can bring some energy to this, it'll be Crawford.
Does Canelo bringing Boots into camp, does that lower Crawford's chances to you?
Well, it doesn't help. I'll tell you that much. It's a very, very astute move to bring someone who switches from lefty to righty. Big, strong young man, very fast, capable punching power. It's going to be a help. It'll be a help for him.
Mike Perry also weighed in. While he admires Crawford's talent, he ultimately sides with Canelo, pointing to the unstoppable force of Mexican power. He also touched on some lighter moments in the build-up, joking about Crawford's exchanges with Turki Alalshik. It showed how even the small details around this fight have become part of the bigger story.
I'm going with the Mexican power. I think, I know Terence is tough, you know. He's an incredible fighter, but I'm going to go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turki's hand.
Not everyone agrees that sparring with Boots Ennis is the perfect preparation. Some analysts argue that Crawford's uniqueness can't really be copied. They point out that Crawford's own camp includes elite minds like Andre Ward and Shakur Stevenson, who provide insights from multiple perspectives. In their view, Crawford's camp might actually be superior since it's based on versatility, not imitation.
Jaron Boots Ennis don't talk about nobody. He stayed on himself. He stay in Philly. Yeah, we as supporters and them people as fans, I'm nobody's fan, feel that he may have ducked Virgil Ortiz or Virgil Ortiz ducked him. But hey, man, Jaron Boots Ennis don't even give off that type of energy to be out there and to be out there wilding. The man trying to fight Canelo. What's wrong with him getting work with Canelo, bro? That's priceless work. That is sparring. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Andre Ward. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Shakur Stevenson. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Lester Martinez. The man got mad people up there in camp, bro. Mad people in camp. Let that man Canelo get his sparring partners. Y'all got to be up over there scared. Y'all got to be up over there musty. To culture by wearing a Gucci belt. He sold out to culture by wearing a Louis Vuitton belt. We got to stop, bro. We got to stop. Niggas pick and choose when they want to be Malcolm X. Niggas pick and choose when they want to be Huey P. Newton. Niggas be straight up there, up in a white club, looking for the girl with no rhythm. Yeah, her right there. She don't dance good enough. I think I get stopped, bro. Y'all got to stop.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next.